Well, welcome everyone. My name is Maria Williams, and I am a consultant with Lifevantage, and I have been one for 13 years. I'll tell you a little bit more about my story later, but I want to get started right with the person of the hour who we're really here to hear, and that is Dr. Brett Brimhall. Dr. Brett Brimhall is a chiropractor. He is married to beautiful Holly over 24 years, and he has 4 children. Only one is at home. The rest of them are all around the world living life, and I know how that is being an empty nester. But he's been a chiropractor for over 20 years. He has been training healthcare providers all over the world since 1995. Him and his father pioneered a healthcare system called the 6 Steps to Wellness. And as part of that system, he trains on nutritional supplements. And this is what blows my mind, is that Dr. Brett Brimhall has developed nutritional supplements. And here he is talking about a different nutritional supplement, because it really blew his mind how amazing this was. So he has trained on nutritional supplements, chiropractic tools, techniques. His passion is for helping people achieve their full potential in health, and has been to expand helping people with their wealth also. In 2014, he had a paradigm shift when he saw changes in patients that he had worked in a patient that he had worked on over a year with a breakthrough technology. He is on the science advisory board of Lifevantage, that is a publicly traded company, and sharing this gift of nutrigenomics with the world. He's this life-changing science and the opportunity to the world. So thank you so much, Dr. Brett, for taking the time to be on here today to explain what all of this is to us, how you got involved. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you have some slides you want to share. So let's all, be really focused, take lots of notes, and listen to Dr. Brett Brimhall.
Hey, all y'all. Thank you, Maria. And you guys, you'll get a chance to hear Maria's story here in a minute, and really understand who she is and just the passion she has for lifting other people up. And so, Maria, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here on it with you. Yeah, everybody hear me? Thumbs up. Good to go. Okay. And so, yeah, it's one of those things, like, how many of you in life have ever felt like you were going a certain direction, and all of a sudden, like, life happens, you end up somewhere totally different? Well, that's happened to me. So I want to kind of share with you a couple of things, but just kind of set the stage. We're going to go through, like, what Lifevantage is, what activation is, if you don't know what that is, but also why we're working together as a community of individuals to take this information to the world. So we'll talk about what the background is, and also, like, if it's something you want to be a part of how you can share it and actually earn extra income as well, if it's a fit. Okay. So I want you to think about the last time you weren't invited to a party. Like, you find out all your friends get to this party and you don't get to go. Like, you don't find out about it until it's too late, or something happens, you find out way late, you wish you would have known about it sooner. So this concept of activation, if you haven't heard about it, it has been called by Washington State back in 2015 potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Right. So activation is the process of allowing the body to perform under its full potential. And we're going to talk about this. Washington State was based on what's called nerve 2 activation, which you'll know what that is in a minute. But I want you to think about for a second, anybody you know or love or care about that you've watched struggle with their health, maybe struggled in a relationship, just struggled, and you've watched them just, not be able to do the things they want to do. And I liken this. We have 4 kids, 4 children, 2 in college, 1 on a mission, and 1 in high school. And I can't remember how many times I told them, like, that there's more in them than they realize. Like, there's more potential than you realize. Like, how many of you, by, like, just, raise your hand, like, or throw the 2 in the chat, that you've told somebody else, like, there's way more in you than you realize. Like, there's way more potential. Maybe even you've been told that yourself. Anybody ever been told that? So there's truly more potential in every single one of us, in our cells, that if they could only perform at their peak, our level of health and wellness could be drastically different. So the level of health you're expressing or experiencing right now, your level of vibrancy, your level of focus, your quality of sleep is all directly proportionate to your level of what's called activation. Okay, so you're going to get to know what that is. But I want to kind of share with a story of a couple people. Just to kind of paint the picture of this is. So I got exposed to this company. So I, like Maria said, I taught and trained physicians for 25 plus years. Really spent a lot of time treating patients as well. I've been in practice, in my dad's practice since I was 14, but I'm almost 50 now. Been treating patients, for quite a while. And my biggest joy is helping people get well that nobody else could help. But also my biggest frustration is having somebody come into me that I do everything that I possibly know and they still don't get better. One of these individuals was my own nephew. And this is my nephew's handwriting. And this little guy, just give you perspective, he was 9 at the time, and he struggled academically. So he'd have to stay in at recess because he would not perform well in class. So he had to stay in and do his homework at recess. He didn't play well with others. He just had a hard time socially with other people. Struggled a lot with just feeling overwhelmed a lot. And had other health issues as well. And I started working with him really when he was a little boy. I actually had purchased multiple equipment to try to help him. One of them was called brain neurofeedback to help him be able to focus and concentrate and to calm down some of the social struggles he had. And still he struggled. Well, I was exposed to this product called Axial, which is activation for brain, and you're going to know a little more what that is. But this is his handwriting on the left. And then 2 weeks after he started a product called Protandim and Axial, which are both activation products, that was his handwriting on the right. And I remember his mom sending this picture to me, and I just blew my mind that could happen. But he also went from a child that had to be, in his class at recess to a kid that went out and played at recess because instead of the last one done, he was the first one done. He started socially interacting much more, and to this day now he's a junior in high school, playing volleyball at a varsity squad and doing phenomenal in school. Not because he didn't have the potential, we just didn't know how to unlock that potential with all the tools and trainings and supplements that I'd had before. I just didn't have this process we know as activation. Now, I didn't learn about activation at some fancy conference. I learned about activation from through a client I was working with. So this little guy, he came to my office when he was 3 years old, but he was diagnosed with a specific process that looked like this. Just give you perspective. So he spent 35 hours of his week going to therapists, doctors, therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists to try to integrate and be successful in school. Me working with him every week for a year, I'd work with an hour or so at a time. And his mom would travel an hour and a half each way to work with me each week. He was still struggling with potty training, still struggling socially. He'd come in my office and I'd have to put him in front of the TV to work on him, and then he'd go back and run around my office. And when his mom learned about this product called Axial, she started giving it to him because the doctor that she learned about it from through the company Lifevantage you'll learn about, told him this is truly liquid brain food. It's activation, nurture activation for brain, and we all could benefit. And she's like, okay. So she started giving her son. 11 days after he started, he came into my office and he sat still, which was a big deal. He sat still for the first time for 15 minutes. I was able to work on him. And then he went from my office back to the back room, and he was interacting with my staff and doing the things he's being asked to do with one prompt. And the conversation I had with him, it was on point. So asking a question last night with him, he asked me his favorite color. He might say dinosaur, he might roar. Well, he was on point in this conversation. So his verbal skills had improved over 50% in 11 days. Now, your brain doesn't have the ability to change in 15 days as far as structurally, but functionally it can change in an instant. So I think about the last time you felt like you were in a fog mentally. Well, it can change. It can change with a good night's sleep. It can change with a better diet, but that's if you have a healthy brain. Well, this little guy, we were doing everything we possibly could. He was gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free. So I call that fun-free. So we removed all the stuff we could and trying to get into things that he needed, yet we didn't have the ability to activate his brain because a tired brain, and this little guy looked like he couldn't learn. A tired brain is somebody else might feel like they're overwhelmed. So, but it's not a supplement specifically in that you're missing ingredients. It's this product as well as the other products I'm going to talk about are activators. So they turn on the natural switches in the body. All right. So that's kind of a recap. So that's what led me to even looking at Protandim. So if you haven't seen this ABC investigative report video. It aired back in 2005. Go back and watch it, because this was where the validation began about like a bunch of scientists were trying to figure out how to get the body to repair to its full potential. And so they found looking for different ways to do that, because they knew that the body produced really big enzymes to help do that, but they didn't know how to get the body to make more of those. So they tried different ways, and they finally found a combination of 5 herbs that work together synergistically that turned on the switches. And so when you go and watch this, you're going to hear a phrase called oxidative stress. You're going to watch them draw blood and then test this individual's blood work, John Quinones, which is an ABC investigative recorded blood, in 2 weeks. And you're going to see the difference that his blood levels change in that 2-week period of time. All right. So we're not going to watch it, but here's the bottom line. They're measuring oxidative stress, which what I want you to understand what that is, oxidative stress is basically inflammaging. It's your body's process of wear and tear and breaking down. So if you look at aging really as a loss of function, loss of ability to do the things that you love and enjoy to do, whether that's thinking or moving or anything else, that's the process of aging. Unfortunately, in a lot of people, it goes way faster than it should. And it's directly related to the level of oxidative stress your body has and its ability to get rid of it. So what you'll see in the video is in individuals, as we get older, oxidative stress always goes up. And you have to find ways to reduce that oxidative stress burden, or the body begins to break down faster than it should. And typically, as we get older, that process goes up higher and higher and higher. Right. So this is why that's important. I want you to, you can pull out your phone right now or later, and I want you to go to a place called pubmed.gov, and I want you to type in the phrase oxidative stress. Now, you don't have to do it, because I just did it just for fun and kicks and giggles. And you can't really see this on my phone, but I'll just put it there just in case so I'm not making it up. There's over 314,000 studies, and PubMed is a research hub. So this is Google. This is like Google Scholar. Like, this is a National Institutes of Health website that they're saying they have 314,000 studies that oxidative stress is a problem. Now, it is, because if you have oxidative stress, you'll see over here, it relates to all these different things that you probably, if you look at, and even pop in the chat and mention a name. Hey, my grandma had been diagnosed with that, or my aunt's been struggling with that. Well, it's all because of oxidative stress. So the process of controlling or improving how your body handles oxidative stress is critical for our ability to age gracefully and to function optimally. So here's what Protandim does. So Protandim is not an antioxidant. So you'll hear about oxidative stress, which are basically oxidants or free radicals. These are the bad guys, right? So think of it like a fire going on in your body. You have to get that fire out, right? So if you breathe oxygen, you have oxidative stress. The more stressed you are physically, emotionally, or dietarily wise, the more oxidative stress you have. You have to find ways to reduce that. Otherwise, you're living less of a life than you want. Like, you're not going to feel as good. You're not going to perform as well. And unfortunately, you're going to act and feel and look older than you want, right? Because that's just what oxidative stress does. So grandma said, eat your fruits and vegetables. And so you should. So I want to give a perspective, the difference between doing supplementation and or activation. So activation is the understanding you have the key that turns on the potential of the cell to be able to quench the bad guys. All right. So you have to eat 400 oranges a day to equal what 1 pill of Protandim causes to happen in your body. So think of Protandim as the key to the car. If you don't have the key to the car, you can't use the car. So the key to the car of the cell that produces all these big enzymes is the NRF2 key. Protandim activates that key. So to equal what that does, you have to eat 400 oranges a day, or 500 cups of broccoli, or 110 cups of blueberries. That's every day. Like, I don't really think anybody could probably do it one day, much less, multiple days in a row. And if you breathe oxygen every day, you create these free radicals every single day. So again, going back to what we said, oxidative stress goes up as we age. You got a way of quench it. Protandim NRF2, reduce those levels like a level of a newborn. So if you, again, go back and watch that video, you can see it. Or if you're like me and you want to look at studies, go back and look at these studies later. And there's over 30 published studies on Protandim specifically. So the actual product we're talking about, the actual product, not the ingredients in the product, which you'll see a lot of different, people quote studies of ingredients. This is the actual product done by third parties that have proven what was originally found in the original studies. And these are big places like American Heart Association, Louisiana State, Mayo. These aren't little, places. These are well-known research centers. Okay, so this is what it does, and here's a couple of things that we know that it does. So it reduces oxidative stress by an average 40% in 30 days. The way I look at this is this. So imagine if you made 40% more money every month, or you had 40% less bills every month. Like, what would that feel like month one, right? What would it feel like month two? What would it feel like month three, right? Well, at first we'd probably like, oh, just take a sigh of relief. And then we'd probably be like, oh, you know what? I've always wanted to fix that thing. And so, I kind of want to save some money. I kind of want to go on vacation. That's how your body feels. Your body's like, hey, you know what? I'm starting to feel a little better. I have a little more energy. Maybe I can clean that closet out. Maybe I can start getting rid of the crap that's there. Maybe I can start building muscle again. So that lowering oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, up to 70% in 3 months, is a result of the body increasing the big enzymes. And that's what these are. And don't even worry about saying them, that they're just these huge big ones. I will mention this one because you've heard about it. It's called glutathione. It increases intracellular glutathione by 300%. So unless you've been hiding on the rock, like, glutathione is a really big deal going on. You'll see it all the time, of the importance of having it and getting your body to make it. This is critical. On top of all these really cool things, there's a 10-year study on Protandim Nerve 2 specifically, showing that they extended lifespan in mammals by an average of 7%. Right. So it's the only dietary supplement that I know of that's been shown to improve not only health span but lifespan. So go back, do your research later. But that's the reason why it works like this. It's not about the herb. It's not about the turmeric or the milk thistle or the bacopa or the green tea that's in it. It's about the combination, the ratios, and how they're put together, and how it activates the potential of the cell. And when they're put together in a very specific way, in a very specific process, it's been tested again and again. It causes the body to produce these enzymes, which lowers oxidative stress. So think about the analogy I said earlier about yourself or your family. What level of potential are they living up to? And what if you could activate their potential with a very specific way? And this, I love about this, it's easy, you swallow it, right? It works when you take it, if you're a mouth, okay? So now that concept, for you maybe new. It was for me in the sense that I knew the body had the power and ability to heal itself. But as the system we call the 6 steps to wellness, we always have known the more right things we do together, the better results we got. And it almost was always like a combination lock of like, what do we have to do with this particular individual to get them to unlock that health potential in them, to get their body to manifest more health? Well, Protandim Nerve 2, we know because it's been studied in the cells, activates this pathway that gets the body the ability to reduce oxidative stress. And if we can do that, that's a huge benefit, because that's why Washington State had gone back and again said this thing about nerve 2 activation. Nerve 2 activation, potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. The reason why they said that is because they know oxidative stress is such a big deal. If they can reduce it, and it relates to all these different processes, we have a huge ability to tap into health people. Now, I would love to tell you lots of different stories about individuals that I've watched go through this process, but I'll tell you one. I've worked with a lot of people in my practice. There's one particular one that comes to mind because she was one of the first people I put on this product, because I had worked with her and I'd watched her go in and out of care facilities. I'd watched her have relapses of things that she was dealing with. And I always wondered, like, what's the next relapse going to bring? Like, are we going to get to the point where we can't bring her back to where she has to stay in a care facility because she was there once? I watched her body be not activated by taking over 30+ supplements a day of good products that my dad created, that I know has huge research and formulation behind it, but we didn't have the capacity to test and actually to look at gene response. And I've watched her activated, and her body, even though she chronologically, 9 years older than she was when she took it, biologically, she's probably 20 years younger, based on what she can do, her ability to walk, her ability to think, her ability to go all day, her ability to be able to perform her tasks, right? And to be successful in that is because her body is activated. Now, we activated her nerve 2 pathway and multiple other. I'm going to talk about a few other things, because if there is key switches in the body and the way science has matured, we have ways of testing it. Why would we stop with just the body's ability to repair? So if I lived in a community and a good sanitation department, which is what nerve 2 activation to me is, what if we could improve other pathways or systems of the body? Like, what if we could improve those too? And what kind of impact might that have with your health? So Lifevantage kept going. They brought out a collagen. And I have to admit, I wasn't very excited about this because in my limited mindset at that point in time, even though I understood, Lifevantage, we were about activation, my concept with all the other collagen products I've seen in the market was focused on skin, right? Yeah, I should care about skin, I should care about beauty, but like I care that somebody can't pick up their grandchild. Like I care that I got a child that can't be successful in school. I care about somebody to be able to function as an individual and to do the things they want to do and be there with their family. And collagen wasn't it in my mind. I missed the boat completely. So let me kind of share a little of the story. Collagen is the scaffolding or the frame structure of your whole body. So without collagen, which is there's multiple types, yes, it's in your skin, your hair, and your nails, right? But guess what? It's also in your muscles, it's in your joints, it's in your gut, it's in your bones, it's in your eyes, it's in your liver, like it's everywhere. It affects every part of our body. 35% of the protein structures in your body are collagen. So if you're not getting collagen, and what I mean by getting it, it's not just eating it, if it's not getting into your cells, if you're not getting collagen, you're not healthy as you could be. All right. So let me kind of show you a little of that story. So with Lifevantage, it's not just about the product. Okay. We activate, which is the key, is we have the key to turn on the switches for the body. We replenish and we maintain. Almost all collagens on the market are focused on this replenish part. Okay, the replenish means, hey, I gotta fill my tank up with gas. Ran out of gas, new gas in. Okay, that's the replenish part. Much different, much more different. That's not great English, but much different when it comes to we're going to turn on the body's ability to do its job. All right, so here's what it looks like. There's an 8-week clinical trial looking at this, our activated liquid collagen, and what it did was we had 100% increase in density of the collagen, all right? And they did this based on skin, 10% roughness reduced, depth of crusting decreased by 222%. The catalase, which is the repair system, increased by 202%, skin elasticity by 8%. And that's only in 8 weeks, all right? But let me show you what that looks like. So unfortunately, in our modern area, and especially in health, we wait for a problem to work with it. And we most of the time don't know a problem's there until we find it. And most of the time those problems have been going on for many times years and sometimes decades. You should read individual things about brain stuff when it comes to like Alzheimer's and things like that. They say we need to be working on things 20 years before symptoms show up. So if you're early to the party and this is your first look, count yourself lucky. But here's what we saw in collagen in a very short period of time with an activated collagen. Like this is someone's legs before and after collagen and around their eyes. Maybe they'll tell you a story who this is later. Day 1 and day 50. All right. Here's another picture of the difference in someone's on. This is someone that had lost a lot of weight because of being not feeling well. And look at the difference in what the skin looks like, and specifically her ability to put muscle mass back on. But also look at the eyelashes and eyebrows of other individuals. Okay, and the color of the eyes. This is all based on collagen, right? Now, let me tell you why it works like this. Your supplements are only as good as what you absorb. And not only what you absorb, but also what your body can utilize. So unfortunately, when it comes to most collagens, they're powder, and it's harder, and they're in bigger structures, so it's hard for you to break down. So a liquid collagen that's called a hydrolyzed collagen peptide, so these are small components of collagen, it's highly absorbable. One thing is huge as far as that, it's more highly absorbable, so you can take less and absorb more. But also, if you get too big of a particles, it's hard in your digestive tract. So many of you probably notice when you eat certain foods, you don't feel so good. You feel kind of blah, and gassy, bloating. That's because your body's having a hard time breaking that down. Remember, if you can't break it down in the gut, you can't absorb it into your digestive tract, and let alone get it into the organs and the glands and the tissues or your skin where you want it. So highly bioavailability. And the active, remember, the key to turning the assembly line to make it is called ruby red quinoa. This is the plant extract that turns on those enzymes. Now, you don't need to know this part here. It's kind of fun if you're like, you love science and stuff. There's certain, think about the assembly lines in your cells that they have to be turned on in order for your body to manufacture things, whether that's to manufacture energy, to manufacture enzymes, to reduce oxidative stress, or to manufacture things like collagen. And it's controlled by these genes. And what happens when you take this, it increases these enzymes, right, that speed up the repair, not only to speed it up, but improve the quality of the collagen the body's producing because of that activator. So if you're taking collagen out there, I just challenge you to look at it and ask yourself, does it have an arm? Does it have an arm? Does it activate? Does it replenish? And does it maintain? Like, and are you getting the results you want? The most expensive product, right, I truly believe, is the one that's not giving you the results that you're looking for. Right. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at something. Okay. Right. This is the picture that shows that increase in collagen density in 8 weeks. So 100% improving that collagen in 8 weeks because it activates, it replenishes, and maintains. So the activation part is a ruby red quinoa. Okay. The replenishment part, the replenishment part is the actual collagen peptides. And then what about this maintenance part? All right. The replenishment, I talked about the hydrolyzed liquid collagen, so we're putting the good stuff in, and 10 different types. There's multiple types, but there's 10 types in this, which is critical because you need multiple types based upon what part of the body you want it in. In the maintenance part, there's very specific citrus berry extracts that slow the breakdown, the maintenance part, the breakdown of your collagen down, so your body doesn't break it down too fast. So here's the unfortunate part. Your body will break down you to maintain you. What I mean by that, if you have a certain organ or gland that's a higher priority than your skin, and if I had to choose, I would choose your heart or brain over your skin. It's going to rob from places that it can to keep other systems functioning. So being able to maintain the quality and the consistency of your collagen is critical. So when this collagen is made, it has that very extract to work on that maintenance part. All right. So what's not in it? All the stuff you don't want, right? So the stuff that people react to, the sugars, that's not there. Okay. So now when you put them together, and we just had a study that's leading to a patent where we know what happened when you put together. So, sometimes 1 + 1 is 2. In this case, 1 + 1 is more like 10, right? Because when you can reduce oxidative stress through activation and activate collagen at the same time, you get to have a massively different impact on overall cellular health. Okay. So, but if you can see it, what might be happening on the inside? So here's a bunch of pictures, and this is like, and it's not even probably a 10% of like all the different stories I've heard over the last year. This collagen's only been around over a little more than a year. And the stories I've heard, I've seen, I've experienced, I've witnessed, have been massive. And I'll just share one with you really quick because I think it's kind of case in point. My brother's an orthopedic surgeon. When he kind of saw some of the pictures I'd posted about some of the stuff we were doing, he's like, I think I want to try that collagen. I said, no. And I said, no, because I will not let you use it unless you commit to 6 months. Now, I said that because I know doctors, and I also know men. We're pretty stubborn. And I wanted to make sure he gave it a fair chase. I also knew as a surgeon that his body, he is beating his body up. Orthopedic surgery is tough. And so I said, okay, 6 months, now I'll let you do it. So within less than 3 weeks, I knew he had some stuff going on with his Achilles tendons for probably 4 or 5 years. And I'd worked on it every time I see him. I think it was 3 weeks in. I said, hey man, how's that Achilles doing? Like, how's that pain feeling and stuff? He said it's gone. It's like, huh, interesting. Now, I've watched him also over the last few months, a lot of other things improve, and I've seen this on a lot of different people, but you've got to give it the time. So I want you to look at these pictures and think, is there anybody you know or you love, you care about, that maybe feels like we call it infla-aging, like they're more inflamed than they should be, or they're aging faster than they should, not only in how they look, but in what they're able to do, right? Then this could be a huge fit and benefit. I truly believe that everyone could benefit from this. How you're going to experience it, I couldn't really tell you. And Lifevantage is a activation company. I say we are the activation company because every product we make, whether it's focused on overall health and longevity with the Protandim Nerve 2 and Nerve 1, which we're not going to go into all those, or the skincare line, or the weight management line, or hair care line, or the brain drink line, or the gut health lines, or eye health, like whatever your focus is, we're focused on activating the body's internal potential to optimize their performance and in the day-to-day, but also improving their longevity. Now, I know for me, like I wouldn't have seen this unless it was the way I would see it. What I mean by that is watching that little guy struggle. And I can still remember his mom coming in one day where he was making some progress such that he realized that he was having to go to therapy and his older brother wasn't. His report card was really bad and his brother's was not. And he was doing all these, 30 plus hours of therapy a week. And his mom said he started to notice these difference and he just wants to be smart like his brother. Now, as a physician, keeping a straight face, but as a dad, like it broke my heart. I was like, now what else can I do to help this little guy? Right. And wasn't too much longer to where she found the axial, brought it to me, which led to me then sharing with patients that for many of them I had gotten to a certain point, but they were still struggling, like the one I was telling you about. Like my own nephew, for instance. I've got another nephew, same story. Similar experience with the axial and R2, how it's unlocked his confidence because of how much different his brain is performing. But at the same time, like that's good. Like, most physicians will recommend products and stuff like that. But why am I here, on a Thursday night talking to all of you, instead of treating patients? Well, when I saw this, I thought, number one, what kind of physician would I be if I didn't start sharing the product and helping people? But I'm a dad first before I'm a physician. I'm a husband first before I'm a physician. And one of the biggest struggles that I ever have, and also rewards, is providing for my family. And when I found out about these products and I started utilizing them, went to a couple of events, kind of learn more about them, got my mind wrapped around what they were. I ended up breaking my knee playing basketball. And I remember that thought of like, oh my gosh, what if I couldn't practice? How many of you have had something like that happen where life happens, you needed more time, or you needed other options? And that was for me a moment where it took me back to 2008, where my wife and I had to have a conversation and basically got rid of let go of our dream home that we built because of the way the economy was, not sure what would happen if we didn't, and changed the whole world. And I remember that conversation, and that thought of me not being able to provide for my family just took me right back there at the level that I wanted to. And so I said, well, how do I do this business? How do I go out and impact others and to build a business? And that's where Maria came in. So the individual that got me involved in this, her name was Carrie Williams. It was her son I was working with. And several of the people that I met quickly, one of them was Maria, because I understood science, I understood how to educate patients, but I didn't really understand what network marketing was or social sharing was. I'm a natural sharer because if you have a problem and I don't know what to do with you, I got to find someone to send you to, right, to get you the results you're looking for. And so I was naturally always sharing things with people, a natural network person. But the whole idea of network marketing was new to me. And so I want you guys to hear what's possible, because when I started doing this back in 2014, 3 years after I started, I sold my big practice because I was able to have a bigger impact across the globe and helping other people, because I hope you guys heard something tonight that you thought about somebody and said, oh my gosh, I wonder if this could help that person. Well, I would never have been here if I hadn't started my journey in this business to share these stories to impact people globally, that this can impact that need to know, because they'll never learn about it, because they'll never see me, and probably another physician even knows about this. But you might share it with them. It could change your nephew. It could change your parent. And I want to be a part of that experience. But why do we do this together? So Maria, I am excited to learn from you about how we do this to share this globally. I know your footprint in this company is much bigger than mine, but just grateful to be along on this journey with you. So I want to kind of hear about like how we work together and what the next right step might be for each of you, because you can be a consultant and share it, or you can be a customer and use it. We want all of them. You there, Maria?
Thank you, Dr. B. I'm muting and I'm chatting away. Thank you so much. So I'm not a doctor, okay? So you don't have to be a doctor to share this. All you got to do is just learn a little bit and have a health scare like I did. In 2007, I had a very big health scare in my life. I worked in manufacturing and human resources for over 20 some years. So I was exposed to lots of toxins, unfortunately. And so that began my health journey. I started looking at, what could I do to get healthier? And then in 2008, my a bad economy, like Dr. B was talking about. Our family got hit by that bad economy. My husband's job company restructured and his job was eliminated. But he got an offer to move here, a transfer. So we took it and moved here. And I said to him, I'll move on one condition, that I don't have to work anymore, because I worked 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, never saw my two boys growing up. And I said, if I'm going to move to a different state, a different part of the country, from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, I want to be a present mom. I want to be able to be home, to take my kids to school, to take them to practices. I want to be around, right? Because they were going into their teenage years. They were 9 and 11 when we moved here. So I was able to do that. I was able to be home. And then I started learning about antioxidants. So I thought I knew everything about antioxidants. They were good for you. And I was taking tons of them. And then in 2010, my neighbor, Carrie Williams, showed me that ABC investigative report. And because I knew about antioxidants were good for you, when they said that this was your body, this was turning on, this product was turning on your own body to make its own antioxidant enzymes. And one of those enzymes could neutralize 1 million free radicals per second, every second of the day. Like, I didn't need to be a doctor to know 1-to-1, I'm taking one molecule of an antioxidant, it's destroying one free radical, and then the body eliminates it. And this one enzyme over here can 1 million free radicals that it's getting rid of, right? And that's where we talk about it can reduce that oxidative stress in the body. And what I was going through was linked to oxidative stress. And I'm just thinking, wow, if this one little pill can do all of that, I want it in my body, right? So, and then Carrie said that there was a business side to this, right? That I could share this product. And I tell you that if you can fall in love with this product, and I mean it, you have to fall in love with this product and be passionate like we are, because we've seen how it can help so many people with so many different things. If you can just be passionate about this and share this with the world, you can build a team. And that's all that we did. So and that's how I started this. You can go back to that slide now, and then I'll continue telling my story using the slide, because that slide goes right into it. I had no idea what I was doing. I know when I got on the product, I got my energy back. That's a big sign if you're tired, right? I got my energy back, my mental clarity, my focus. I just felt like I was 20, 30 years old again. I just felt amazing. So I knew that changes were happening in my body. So what I did is I just went out and started telling people. I started sending that video, that ABC primetime, to people. I tried to find people that I knew had health issues or something going on, or people that wanted a change in their life. They were tired of their job. They were a burnt out corporate executive like me, who just burnt out from what they were doing, and they wanted more time with their family. And I will tell you, after the last 2 years that we've had with COVID, a lot of people have realized how delicate life is and how important our families are, and our life with our families. So a lot of people, even today, a lot of companies are struggling to employ people because they don't want to work the way they were working. They don't want to be away from their families, right? So there's a big shift that happened, right? People want to find ways, like I was back then. How could I, and before this came into my life, it was funny because I had told my husband that I wanted to go back home more often. And he said, okay, honey, I'm going to put you on a budget. And I went, a budget? But I knew what he was saying. We went from 2 incomes to 1, and we had to save money. And so that's when I started praying and asking God, what can I do to bring some extra money into my family? But I didn't want to work all those hours. I didn't want to go back to human resources. I was burnt out from it. I wanted something different. I wanted something that allowed me to work when I wanted to work, so I could still be a mom and I could still work. So, and I've never really considered this work. I just considered that I'm sharing this with people, and I'm trying to inspire them and teach them. So I went out and started telling everyone I knew, and I didn't know a lot of people in Arizona. So don't tell me you don't know anybody, because I was only living here 1 year. And Carrie said, well, why don't you go to a networking group where you can meet people, you can network with people? And that's what I did. I went to a networking group of entrepreneurs and small business owners, because I'm a small business owner now. And so part of this group is we're helping each other, give referrals and helping each other grow. And I talked to neighbors that I knew, and I made cold calls. And from that, I found 3 people, just 3 people. So I got a lot of people who want to get to be customers. We get a lot of people. All they want is they want to take the product, and that's great. But along the way, you might find a couple of people like Dr. B and I that saw what this product could do and saw a vision of how big this was going to be. And we wanted to be a part of it. We wanted to be more present with our families and have more choices in life, choices to, what do we want to do? Where do we want to go? What do we want to donate to charity? Where do we want to do in life, and just have those choices? So I found 3 people out of those people that I was talking to. In that first year, I found those 3 people. But I'm going to tell you, I talked to hundreds of people that said no, they weren't interested. So that's okay. But those 3 people went out, and I taught them what I had been taught, and they started doing what I had been doing, and they went out and talked to people. And today that's over 100,000 people, a combination of customers and distributors, about 90,000 customers and about 10,000 distributors. And these customers and distributors were in over 20 some countries. So we're all over the world now, scattered. So we started here in Arizona, and we've gone to almost every country that we're open in. We've either have a customer or a distributor there. So that's how you create this network, is by going out and talking to people. Next slide. So you can be a customer, and you can get, by being a customer on subscription, you save 10%. From the retail price. There are reward circles you can get there, and it's free to be a customer. Now, to be a consultant, that's where you pay $50 annually. You get the wholesale price, you get commissions earnings, and you also get lots of travels and perks. So we are a publicly traded company on NASDAQ. Thank you for making that bigger. That's awesome. We're a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, so we can show you from our average earnings. So if you look at the third column, that's the average monthly commission paid by rank. So before we used to go 1 to 10, now we have some more ranks in there, but I'm going to use the 1 to 10 to make it easier. So if you're just looking, I started this, I just wanted to make some part-time income. So the first couple of ranks per 1, 2, and 3, you can see you can make from $50 to around $600, some part-time income. That part-time income can save people's homes. I remember in 2009, when the bad economy hit, an extra $285 was the average, an extra, that's it, that would have saved mortgages, that would have saved people from not losing their homes, right? So as you get in, you get started, you get some consultants on board with you, and then you start helping them grow. This is when the magic begins to happen. When you help others grow, not only do you get paid on your customers, so you can get paid up to 30% on your customers, and you can get paid up to almost 30% on your consultants, right? So you get customers, you can get up to 30%. So then you bring some people in, they start telling people, you start helping them grow, you start helping them just tell the story. That's all we're doing, is we're telling a story. That can start generating some full-time income from 1,000, so pro 4, 5, and 6, from 1,000, 3,000 to 7,000 a month. I used to remember the average income, monthly income is between 3,000 and 6,000 for Americans, is right in between there. So you can make some full-time income. Then as you continue to mentor, as you continue to grow, and your team now grows, you can get to Pro 7, 8, 9, and 10. So Dr. B didn't mention it, but he's a Pro 7. The average income from a Pro 7 is $13,000 a month. And Dr. B is a Pro 7 in our company. He has a part-time now practice. He had a full-time practice, and he has a semi-part-time practice now. So he's got that, and he's got this Lifevantage income. I'm a Pro 9 in the business, and you can see the average income is over $50,000 a month. Well, let me tell you, I was a poor Brazilian immigrant that moved here with my parents, who did not speak a word of English, had no money, and just were middle class, worked hard. My parents just always taught me to work hard and to dream big. And so to be at this level that I am in my life, I never even imagined when I started this 13 years ago. But if someone like me with no experience in this, just a passion for helping people and a passion for what this product can do, and just loving to change lives, you can do this. You just have to never give up on yourself and never stop talking about this to people. That's all that it takes, is every day talk to someone new, find someone new that you can share a little bit of this information, send some video. We have a whole training platform. We're here to help you get started in this. You're on step 3. It's okay.
No,
So we have some, so if you're interested in becoming a consultant, we have what we call packs, is how you get started. And let me tell you, my business is over $15 million in sales a year. You can see from the income and figure out how much I make. And I invested $1,000 to be making what I'm doing today. Right. And so if most people look at a business that they think you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, this business does not take that. Right. You can get started with $249 a pack, and we have $309 a pack. And then we have a big pack for $999. There you go. Step 1. I do things backwards, but I'd rather start with step 1.
I don't know why he's doing that.
Oh, it's going backwards. That's why.
Goodness, seriously.
It's on its own, doing its own thing.
This is why the Dodgers should never be in charge. That happened.
It's okay. All right, leave it there. They can see the pack. Oh, there you go. All right, perfect.
I'm just gonna do it the other way.
So this month of September is the company is running a special that they have never, ever run before. Any of these packs that you get to start your business, and this is a one-time that you're purchasing this, it's like a business in a box. You're buying this just one time, you're buying this to start your business. And then after that, all you have to do is have an order. So you buy this pack, they're giving any of the packs that you choose, they're giving extra 20 free collagen bottles, because we are in a mission to get people to try this collagen, because we have seen so many amazing stories. Collagen is the #1 protein in your body, and we lose it so fast. After the age of 25, we start losing it fast. If you're 40, 50, you've lost half of your collagen already. So it's super important that we need collagen. So if you get any of these packs, you get 20 free collagen, so you can share it with someone, right? Let someone try it. And then you get the AM PM, which is multivitamin divided into the morning and at night. And the #1 thing that people physically feel with this, that I hear all the time, is they sleep better. One of my best friends who never sleeps, gets up no matter what time she goes to bed. She's up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. For the first time in her life, she is sleeping almost 8 hours. She's amazed. The only problem is she's snoring now because she's sleeping so deeply, but hey, who cares? That's her husband's problem to deal with. So you get these packs, you get the 20 free collagen, the AM PM. And if you're really looking at this as a business, like you're all in, you see this, like I saw this, like Dr. B saw this, and you get that $999 pack. Not only will you get the 20 free collagen, the AM PM, but you will get, we have a global convention coming up in October. You will get 2 free tickets to global convention and 3 nights hotel at the Marriott, which that's almost $1,000 of 3 nights hotel. And that's going to be in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm telling you, if that alone doesn't get you excited to join us, I don't know what will, right? And then in the big pack, what I love about it is you get all the products to try: the hair care, the skin care, the brain food, the collagen, the Protandim, the eye health, all of it's in there. And that's great because you get to feel it and experiment yourself, and then see how your body is feeling, see what is the changes that are occurring to you. Because what sells in this business, it's our stories. It's telling our stories. It's telling our, our stories of us or the people around us. Some people are healthy that get into this, but they're looking for prevention. So they never feel anything because they're just trying to prevent and live longer, right? And live healthier and have more vitality. But they use stories of people around them that they know have health issues and that start to feel better, right? So we have tons of health stories and that we can share with you. But creating your own is amazing around you with your family and friends. So you're creating these stories and you're sharing, and then you're creating your business story, right? Of how this is changing lives. With all of these tools that we have at our disposal. Next one there. Awesome. So step one is you get your pack. Step two is you figure out what you're going to use monthly, whatever you want, whatever products you want to use monthly. We recommend the Healthy Glow Stack because, you know, the Protandim and collagen are just amazing how they work together and what they do in the body. Step three is we make a list, right? And we help you. We teach you how to share information. We teach you how to invite people to look. All we're doing is asking people to take a look, right? We listen. We look for a pain point, whether it's health, money. What are people not happy with? You may have a solution. That's all we're looking for. And we say, hey, take a look at what we have our hands on, right? We send them a tool. And so the goal is, as you talk to people within the month, is to get 3 customers and 1 consultant, right? You help that consultant while you're still talking to people. And then next month you do it again. Try to get some more customers. And we call it the 3-in-1 step. So that kind of wraps it up. You can close down the slide. So the only thing I want to say is please get back to the person that invited you tonight. If you want more information, we can give you more information. If you just want to be a customer, get back to them. You can tell them what's going on. They can get you the right combination of whatever they feel would be best for you and send you a shopping cart, and you just have to fill it out. Or if you see what we see and the potential here and you want big changes in your life and little changes too, or if you just want to bless other people and do this organically, slow and easy, that can be done too. And if you want to become a consultant, then just get back to the person and tell them where you stand. So thank you so much for taking the time, everyone, to join us. We are so blessed. Thank you, Dr. B, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. This is the first time we do a Zoom presentation together, so I'm excited. It is being recorded, and we will send it out to all the leaders so they can use it in the future. So thank you, everyone, and good night.